Hey everybody, we are in Rocky Top, Tennessee. Always wanted to say that, at Norris Dam State Park. So we're gonna go around and see what we can see.
Just like you said, Rocky Top and Dam all in the same sentences.
Oh Lord, Mom. Oh, this is why I cannot put that my videos are not made for children. You don't never know what she's gonna say. So anyway, we're gonna go and see what we can see. I know that, Mom, but people may not know that. So anyway, we're gonna see what we can see and then we'll go somewhere else. Okay, we're at the visitor center, but they don't open until 10, and it's before 10, but they have this on the wall. Shows that Norris Dam construction was completed in 1936. The dam height was 81 meters. The dam length was 567 meters. The reservoir length was 208 kilometers, which is 129 miles. And the flood storage is 1,818 million cubic meters. And this is all the important stuff right here. And they did have bathrooms, always very important. This is the visitor center that is not open. And this shows Norris Dam, named for George W. Norris, United States Senator from Nebraska, in recognition of his public services, built for the people of the United States of America by the Tennessee Valley Authority under direction of the Congress and the President, 1933 to 1936. So this shows that Norris Dam State Park was established in 1953. We really don't know where we're going, so that's pretty. So apparently this side mountain takes you up to, it looks like picnic shelters and picnic areas. But just look at the beautiful colors. Oh, it's amazing. Yep. That's beautiful there. That right there says that is the historic cottage there. And they appear to have a little library. And we appear to be lost right now. So I guess we're gonna show you the cabins. That was not the intention. So it's now 10 a.m. so we're gonna see if we can get a map at least, hopefully.
Everything has changed so much in the last 50 years. It's amazing.
Oh, my dad just passed away in May. I told him he was 95. I said, look at the things you saw, Dad.
Yeah.
Outdoor plumbing.
A washboard?
We had a, oh my God, up in that hill to one of them supposed to be fixed.
Making money off of us.
Well, to me.
So now we're riding across the dam.
Look at that.
It's beautiful. I have to get that one.
You better get it now while you.
Come on, we got to come back across so I can go to the other thing.
She said that over there with the limestone.
So the marina's that way.
You want to go there?
I guess. So this is the parking lot to the marina, and according to what it says, the state park offers the marina. I guess if you want to go out there and take boat tours or something. So this is also a beautiful wall behind us. I think the lady at the TVA said it's limestone. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that, because Mom was listening more than I was, even though I was listening, because she was telling me all kind of places that's fun to go and visit. So it makes me feel like I needed to stay a month in Tennessee instead of just a week. But there's always the future as long as nothing tragic happens, you know. So I can always come back. Won't be this year though. But this is just so nice. So we're getting ready to go across the dam one more time. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the water down there. So I will say, definitely stop into the visitor center if you come. That's Tennessee Valley Authority Visitor Center. So that one's ran by the federal government, but it's also in, she said they also help out the state park and everything. We had a lot of information in there. So this up here is the Caleb Crosby Threshing Barn. I love all stuff like this. I am in my element here. Almost looks like an old bathtub there. And this says, "This is your heritage. Please do not vandalize." And obviously some people cannot read because they've written all over it. Some nice old wheels there. So that over there is a tree, Anya elm. and it was declared to be the largest American elm in the United States. Went off that piece right there. Oh, that's pretty cool right there, that old wheel. Oh, they're so pretty in this direction. And this talks about Uncle Roof. It says Rice, 18th century grits mill. Originally constructed along Lost Creek, Union County, this mill was built by James Rice after migrating from North Carolina to Sharp Station in 1790. Uncle Jim and his sons completed construction of the grits mill in the autumn of 1798. The mill was a two-story log structure with a wood shake roof. The wooden water wheel is of the overshot design, meaning water was channeled to the top of the wheel and allowed to pour over it in order to turn the wheel. All the internal gears were carved from hickory. The main water wheel shaft is believed to have been hewn from a yellow poplar tree. The millstones are original, said to have been imported from France, having been used as ballast stones on their voyage from aboard. So there's that. And then the thrashing barn, Caleb Crosby's original built barn, or he originally built the barn and threshing machine on the north side of the Holston River in what later was called Crosby's Settlement in Knowton Community. Both were built entirely from wood by hand. Oxygen-generated power was transmitted by a drive shaft to the threshing machine inside the main building. It's interesting.
You're not in my way if you want to get closer to it.
Okay.
I'll make you get there.
If you're going to be here all day, I'm going to do what I need to do and get on out your way. Yeah. So that's the water wheel there. It's really pretty. So take a chance on that. Oh, this is pretty. So that shows you where the water would go down and across the mill. So pretty. So it's not in my nature to go upstairs to see things, but I think this was worth it. And it's a nice little piece of history right there. And the colors are amazing up here, as you can see up there in the trees. So beautiful. I'm gonna take a moment with these little flowers. I was not expecting to see anything blooming like this. They're so pretty. I don't know what kind of bug that is. There's a pretty little caterpillar as well. Definitely was not expecting to see one of those this time of year. So I was getting ready to get back in the car, but I was like, oh no, you need to go down there where the water's at and take it from there so you can get the whole meal. So here we go. And that is beautiful. I'm pretty sure that's something to see whenever that wheel's actually moving. So I'm pretty sure everybody's getting tired of looking at me by now, but it's okay. This is so beautiful here. This is a beautiful place, and I'm really glad that we found out about it. It was well worth the time that we took here to stop. Now we're over at the Lenore Museum, and they have the kiosk out here in the parking lot that talks about the Civil War in Anderson County. It says, skulking bushwhackers. Divided loyalties in Anderson County as elsewhere in East Tennessee often erupted in violence. It was commonplace for guerrillas on both sides to raid farms and capture opposing sympathizers. In the county seat of Clinton, Confederates established a conscription center to draft men into military service. Many Unionists, trying to avoid conscription, stole across the border into Kentucky to join the Federal Army. They used Eli's cabin, built by county resident Eli Lovejoy Ward, as a safe house to rest and eat before heading over the mountains. A small engagement occurred in the county on July 25, 1862, when a federal foraging party fired on Confederate cavalry pickets at Clinton Ferry. Confederate forces moved quickly to establish control of the area. An East Tennessee correspondent for the Atlanta Intelligencer reported the number of Confederate troops gathering here renders this place of some interest. Situated on the Clinch River 20 miles north of Knoxville, cooking utensils, baggage, and tents have been given up, and large supplies of ammunition are being collected. There are no armed enemies near us except the skulking bushwhackers, and they are getting extremely cautious in their movement. Even after the war ended, resentments lingered. And that shows guerrillas meeting with the scouts, the mountain region of North Carolina and Tennessee in 1864. And it says Norris Dam State Park, built in 1933 as the first Tennessee Valley Authority project, features 4,000 acres along the Norris Reservoir, which furnished electricity and controlled flooding in the Tennessee Valley. A corn and wheat mill constructed in Union County by James Rice in 1798 was dismantled in 1935 and reassembled on Clear Creek. The building has served as a sawmill, cotton gin, and source of power for the Rice homestead. The nearby Old Emory Road, cut and cleared in 1787, was the first authorized road connecting Kingston to Knoxville and Nashville. Travelers stayed in the David Hall Cabin, a tavern built in 1799. Confederate soldiers occupied it during the war. So that's how the Lenore Museum looks. I don't know if we can get in or not. Well, there's anybody around here except us, so I don't know. So unfortunately, it's not open today. Today is Tuesday, and it's only open Wednesday through Sunday from 9 to 5. So that's horrible. I can't even see anything in there, so I don't know. But anyway, we'll have to come back someday. And Mom has just spotted one of the largest frogs I have ever seen in my life. That's the ones I used to play with. Wow. So I was wondering, was he real? But he was moving. I know what it is. You wanted to get in the museum too, didn't you? Oh well. I don't know if you'll be here whenever I ever come back, but hopefully will. If the frog gets in the museum, maybe the frog can make a video and show you what's in there. But it's just not meant to be today. So before we completely go, I'll show you how the water looks rushing down from the river. It's so beautiful out there. It's so beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video for Norris Dam State Park in Tennessee. And I think I've already said this earlier, but if not, I'm going to say it again. I did not know that place existed probably until like a week or so ago, because there was something on Tennessee State Park's Facebook page about the museum actually, and I was like, oh, that's so pretty. And it was not open today, but you know what that means? I can always come back again, and I would like to come back here again, because the lady from the TVA, she said that Norris is actually a nice little town to visit. So I don't even know how in the world we're in Rocky Top, Tennessee, but I guess that's the mailing address, since everything back there is Norris. I don't know. Maybe somebody watching knows.
Turn right onto River Road.
I can't turn. I will not turn around. Just keep on going. That lady doesn't know where she's going. Right now we have on Google Maps instead of Apple Maps, so that's why you're hearing a different voice than what you usually hear. So it says, Norris Dam State Park is located on the shores of Norris Lake and situated on 2,473 acres in the ridges and valleys of East Tennessee. In addition to the outstanding recreational activities, great emphasis is placed on conservation, education, and an appreciation for historical and cultural treasures, which include the Caleb Crosby Threshing Barn, the 18th century rice grits mill, the Lenore Museum, and the historic Civilian Conservation Corps' Camp Kinshin. Interpretive panels and stone remains tell the story of this original CCC camp. And if you ever watch any of my videos about the South Carolina State Parks, you know how I feel about CCC. I think they did wonderful stuff, and that is definitely something I would like to go back and see again. Maybe we'll never have more time. I've got like 7 places planned to go to today, but I don't think we're going to make them all. But anyway, that's okay. Whatever I don't see now, I'll always see another day, as long as nothing tragic happens, as I like to say. But anyway, the Lenore Museum is a touch museum and includes a diverse collection of artifacts that depict life in the southern Appalachia from 12,000 years ago to the present day. And it says the early American objects were given to the state of Tennessee by William G. Lenore to be kept on permanent public display. He collected for more than 60 years, and his wife Helen Hudson joined him in that endeavor until her death in 1960. And it was the Lenore's dream to see their collection kept together and displayed for public enjoyment. So I would like to go in there and see that. So, and I also know when it's open. I'm always planning to come back. And it says about the grits mill. Construction was completed on that in the autumn of 1798. And it's a 2-story log structure with a wood-shaped roof. The wooden water wheel is of the overshot design, meaning water was channeled to the top of the wheel and directed to pour over it to turn the wheel. All the internal gears were carved from hickory, and the main water wheel shaft is believed to have been hewn from a yellow poplar tree. And it says the millstones are originally imported from France and were used as ballast stones on their voyage over the ocean. And over the years, the mill has been rigged up to power a sawmill, cotton gin, and a trip hammer. And it even operated a dynamo that supplied electric light to the mill and the rice home in 1899. And it says 4 generations of the Rice family operated the mill, starting with James Uncle Jim Rice from 1798 until his death in 1829. Then Uncle Jim's eldest son, George, operated until 1868 when he gave it to his eldest Henry, who then passed it down to his eldest Rufus, who was Uncle Rufe Rice. Rufus was the last to run the mill from 1888 until 1935 when the TVA purchased the land to be flooded upon completion of Norris Dam, and the family relocated to a farm in Blount County, Tennessee. And the CCC and the National Park Service disassembled the mill, carefully labeling each piece of the wooden mechanism before reassembling it, much of the structure in its current site. And TVA donated the mill and adjoining land to the Tennessee Department of Conservation in 1953. And it says that the grits mill is open seasonally with gift items and refreshments. That would have been nice. And threshing bar in my hand is about to give out. I am up here holding this. Oh, let me switch it to a different position. Okay. The threshing barn, it says in the 1830s, Caleb Crosby built a barn and threshing machine on the north side of the Holston River in what was later called the Crosby Settlement in the Knowton community. Both were made of wood, built entirely by hand. Oxen-generated power was transmitted by a drive shaft to the threshing machine inside the main building. Among the maze of wooden gears was one as large as a wagon wheel. And the threshing barn stood for about 100 years. It was originally situated on a farm that is now submerged under Cherokee Lake. Before the site was flooded, Caleb's grandsons, Powell and Brian Crosby, donated the barn and threshing machine to the National Park Service. But since no such barn ever existed in the Great Smoky Mountains pre-park years, the idea to reassemble it within the park boundaries was rejected. Recognizing the historical value of the barn, park officials kept the dismantled timber sheltered and in good condition for 34 years until they donated it to the Tennessee State Park system. The barn was reconstructed on its present site in 1978. So, I truly enjoyed today's trip out there. I am so happy we were able to find that. You don't turn for another mile, Mom. Here? No, keep on going. It says 1 mile. So this place out here, the Museum of Appalachia, that's another place I would like to visit one day. So we do have to come back to this nice little town. Maybe next year. So, how did you enjoy today?
It was good.
It was good. We had a really good conversation with the lady at the TVA thing. She gave us so much information, so it makes me even want to come back more so to this place now, just so I can learn more about it. She showed us a book. I didn't film any of that because the book was really delicate, but it showed how the houses and everything looked before the TVA came in and flooded all the land to build the dam, because that's very common in a lot of places. The property has to be taken so they can flood it and make these dams so the water can go like it's supposed to. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video because you're probably saying, can you please stop rambling? So with that, if you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Mom is in the zone driving. So I will say, if you have not done so yet, please subscribe if you're interested in these type of videos. And if not, that's okay too. You have to forgive my GPS unit. She is trying to give us instructions on how to get where we're going. And if you like the video, you can give it a thumbs up. You can comment, share, whatever your heart desires. And if you don't want to do any of that, don't worry about it. That's okay too. So I'm gonna say toodaloo for now, and we'll see you somewhere else. Bye.